Live in 3, 2, 1. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Hendrix, and I'm back with day 3 and 4 and day umpteen of WNBA free agency. It has been a week. Luckily, not too much has been going on, so I kind of was able to let the news simmer a little bit. But we're going to catch up with all of the updates and all of the signings that have happened. Things have kind of slowed down so far in terms of the WNBA's big moves. They're just like a lot of training camp contracts being signed right now. But like I said, I'm not going to cover the training camp contracts. I'm going to cover the actual contracts, the actual signings from rookie scale contracts to actual contracts. Now, the only training contract I will talk about will probably be in this video, and you all probably know what it is because I'm kind of pissed off about it. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this video. We're going to kick off with the biggest news that happened in the past week. So after Seattle signed Skylar Diggins-Smith, they have officially picked up Nneka Ogwumike from the Los Angeles Sparks after Nneka was with Los Angeles for, I believe, 12 seasons, ever since she got drafted out of Stanford. Seattle is looking nice right now. Okay, they lost Stewie, they lost Sue Bird. They're really on a rebuild right now, and they're really trying to find identity as a team moving forward. Now, the players they're picking up, they still have couple of good years left. It's not like these players are super old and can't do anything, can't produce. This is a really big pickup. These two pickups for Seattle, Skylar and Nneka. Those pickups are going to at least keep Seattle competitive. I'm not sure if that's enough to beat the Aces, but it's enough to at least put up a fight. And then if Gabby Williams returns to the fold, you have Skylar Diggins-Smith, Jewell Loyd, Gabby Williams, Nneka Ogwumike, and Ezi. That still is a very solid starting five. And then off the bench, I think, who do they have off the? Oh, I don't actually. They probably put Horston at the 3. So they actually have pretty good depth. They got Sammy Whitcomb on the team still. Kia Nurse went to Los Angeles. But Seattle, in terms of making the moves that they were supposed to make, they did their thing. They got Nneka. I really thought, like I said early in the past videos, I don't think Chicago really had a chance of getting Nneka after they started making all these crazy guard moves and stuff like that. I think New York had a chance as well, but she probably didn't want to go into a fold where there are a lot of bigs and they'd probably have to figure out who sits, who plays. So Seattle was probably the best choice and definitely seems like the best choice for her. So shouts out to Nneka Ogwumike. That's the first news. That's probably the biggest news I think we're going to receive this WNBA free agency. Sky was going to go somewhere. I don't think there's any other big news. So Seattle, that's like good for them. You know, good for Seattle. Again, you're in the West. Your main goal is to beat the Aces. Is it enough? Not sure, but they'll definitely be competitive. All right, let's get into some of the other moves that happened this past week. I think just in the past week, Moriah Jefferson got traded for Rebecca Allen. So the Sun traded this shit don't make no sense to me. The Sun traded Rebecca Allen for Moriah Jefferson. Moriah Jefferson's going to the Connecticut Sun. Rebecca Allen's going to Phoenix. Now, Phoenix is kind of flying under the radar of the players they're picking up. They picked up T. Cloud. I think they were going to get Elena Delle Donne, but Elena Delle Donne said her the sources said that EDD's interests were Vegas and Phoenix. And if she went to Vegas, I would have given up. But Phoenix is making good moves right now. So now you have Ty Harris, you have Tiffany Mitchell, you have Moriah Jefferson. What? I don't get it. What are you worried about in terms of your guard situation? Rebecca Allen is probably one of the best 3-and-D players in the league. She can also slash, so she's not just a shooter. You saw what she did to New York. You saw what she did to my team just this past playoffs, and you give her up for another guard, an undersized guard at that. The thing about Rebecca Allen, she can play forward. She plays forward. She can play the 3 spot, but she can also guard the perimeter players. I don't see how that's smart giving her up. So Phoenix wins that trade for sure. Not sure about Connecticut. Again, I don't know what they see in terms of their guard situation. Like, what are you necessarily looking for? Maybe Maybe they're looking for a better facilitator because Mariah Jefferson can facilitate pretty well. Your other guards, they're kind of score first, so I guess it makes sense. But I think Phoenix won that trade. While we're on the topic of the Connecticut Sun, they re-signed Brianna Jones. Shouts out Bree. Shouts out our Terp. And Sun re-signed DeWanna Bonner. They also re-signed DeWanna Bonner. So they're basically getting the crew back together, except for Rebecca Allen. Connecticut, again, they're still going to be competitive. They're going to be good. They are in the East, so everything they're doing has to stack up against us, the Liberty. So do they have enough move? Are they making the right moves to beat New York? Trading Becca, I don't think so. They still have a solid team. They do have a lot of depth right now. I think they have much more depth than us. I think those are going to be the two teams competing in the East. It's just going to be Connecticut and, if Atlanta actually gels pretty fast, like faster than we expect. Connecticut, Atlanta, New York. The Mystics are going to be haywire right now because the next news is that Elena Delle Donne has decided to take the year off. And this is crazy to me because I think she really wanted to leave. I think she really wanted to leave. And then the Mystics tried to make her a core player, but she was just like, nah, I'm trying to dip. So it's just like, okay, if you're not going to trade me or if you're not going to let me leave, I'm not going to play. That shit is also wild because she's sitting out when she could have a supermax contract. So DC, what are we doing right now? DC lost T Cloud. You don't have a guard. You don't have Elena Delle Donne this season. So it's Ariel Atkins, Brittany Sykes, and Shakira Austin right now. I don't know. DC, man. DC, what's surprising me the most about DC is they're making no moves to pick up a guard. A guard is needed in DC right now, and I've heard nothing. I've heard no interest, no one looking for anything. Okay, you picked up Didi Richards, but Didi's a forward more so. She's more so with 3. You're definitely not putting her at the 2 or 1 spot. Well, what is DC doing? I don't know. Let's keep going. Some decent news for Chicago because Chicago, I guess, is just in full rebuild mode, but they not re-signed, but in a way, they technically re-signed Diamond DeShields because Diamond DeShields did not play. I think she was with, who was she with this season? Last season, she was with Dallas. Why am I blanking on that? Dallas. I'm not sure. I believe she was with Dallas, but she didn't play due to injury. So Chicago just re-signed her this offseason. I'm not sure what Chicago's doing. Chicago's just going to be one of those teams that might make the playoffs. I don't have high expectations for them, but shouts out to Diamond DeShields. One of the bigger news stories of the past week, Kahleah Copper. That's who I was tripping off. Kahleah Copper. I don't know why I just remember that. It was Kahleah Copper getting traded from Chicago to Phoenix in exchange for Brianna Turner and Michaela Onyenwere. So Chicago is basically, I think Chicago is just blowing it up. They won the chip in 2021. CP left. Elena Smith left. Not that I don't think Elena Smith was on the team anyway. But I think Chicago is just blowing it up right now and just trying to get at least decent pieces back. Something they could build around. They don't have any stars in Chicago other than, Marina Mabry. So maybe they're just going to try to build around her. But Phoenix picking up Kahleah Copper, T Cloud, Becca Allen, they're going to be tough. The West looks like it's leveling out again, okay? The Aces are still miles past these players, miles past these teams. But the moves being made, I like it. I like it from Phoenix. I like it from Seattle. Dallas is Dallas, The Copper move to Phoenix, it makes Phoenix competitive again. Chicago's on the rebuild. It's going to be really interesting seeing some of these Western Conference battles because it's all about, except for the Aces, take the Aces out of it, it's all about who gels faster. Whoever gels the fastest gets a chance to take down the Aces. You know what I mean? And it might not be, the thing is, it might not be this season. I don't think it's going to be this season. It might take a couple of seasons because I don't see the Aces, barring injury, I don't see the Aces, losing to anyone. But if you can give them a run for their money, kind of like Connecticut and New York, then maybe it's worth it. But the moves are looking really good for Phoenix right now. Kahleah Copper, she is going to bring a bunch of energy and at least great consistent scoring, because DT, even though she's still a bucket, she's getting older. T Cloud is really a facilitator. Becca Allen is really a shooter, 3-and-D type player. So Phoenix really does need a go-to scorer, and they got that with Kahleah Copper. So that's really an A+ move. Some other news: Lexi Brown has signed a contract extension with the Los Angeles Sparks. So shouts out to Lexi Brown. Most of us saw this coming. Candace Parker re-signing with the Las Vegas Aces. Obviously, she wants to run it back another year, because I think personally she really feels like she missed out last season. Like, she couldn't be a contributing factor to the Aces. So I understand why she's re-signing. It still annoys me that the Aces are just stacking the deck again. I thought for a second, I thought she might have gone back to LA, but she didn't. I don't think she wanted to do that. She really wants to run it back, actually participate in the group project, get herself a ring, and then maybe call it a career. But the Aces running it back with Candace Parker, bro, it's just, oh my gosh, it's just a headache, man. It's a headache, bro. It's a headache. And I'm gonna drop this super team video in a couple. Maybe I'll drop this super team video like later today. But yeah. Aces annoy me, bro. Now they annoy me. It's just like, I don't like, I just feel like I said last season, bro, it's backpacking, okay? It's not, are you too old to go to the Aces? No, because you're still a great role player. It's like, if a legendary player goes to a team where she wants to be backpacked, she still levels above a role player. She's not on the same level as a role player that got picked up off of a training camp contract. She's Candace Parker, and she's re-signing with the Aces. On top of that, the Aces just signed Megan Gustafson as well. I think I reported that earlier, but like, look at the depth here. Look at bro. And then on top of that, the Aces signed Bria Hartley to a training camp contract. As a New York fan, why are we letting Bria Hartley sign training camp contracts with the Aces? Someone explain that to me. You're telling me if Bria Hartley was available, we need a guard, and we're picking up everyone but Bria Hartley? Why would we ever let her go to the Las Vegas Aces on a training camp on any type of contract? Why aren't we picking her up? You feel me? So I'm just like, New York, yes, we have a good team, but we still need to make moves, because we're the same team that lost 2-3 starters in a game that we were supposed to win at home. What are we doing? I'm not a fan of like we signed 4 guards to training camp contracts, and Bria Hartley was available. That makes no sense to me. That's going to do it for the WNBA free agency update. The West is stacking up right now. The East isn't really stacking up, but Atlanta is looking good. New York isn't really doing anything. Connecticut is going to be all right. The Mystics are in a tailwind right now. I don't know what the Mystics are doing. It's going to be a rough year for the Mystics. It's going to be hard to watch, I think, unless they can clutch out a few signings. It's going to be tough to watch. Chicago, what are we really looking at? You know what I'm saying? Some teams are active, some teams are dormant, and some teams are just marginally getting better. So it should be interesting this season. No one's stopping the Aces if they're healthy. Maybe we can stop the Aces, but it's going to take a lot of improvement individually and as a team. I don't think we're there yet, but it's a good sign knowing that we got to the finals, even with issues that still have to be ironed out. So that's going to do it for day 3, day 4, damn near day 7, day 8, day 10, day whole week, because again, I was kind of like waiting on the dust to settle for some of these moves. But that's going to do it for this video. If you all enjoyed it, you know what to do. Subscribe if you're new. It's been your boy Hendrix. I'm out of here. Take care. Stay safe. Stay blessed. Peace.